Hey there, Stampers. Welcome. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta, and I am excited to be here this week for daily Facebook Lives. I'm just trying to straighten my camera here. So all week long, I will be popping in from Monday to Thursday. I will be here at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, sharing a project using the Floating and Fluttering bundle from the January to June mini catalog. And then Friday will be my usual 11 a.m. and I'll still be using this bundle. So I'll be using this bundle all week long, and I'm super excited. I've got some fun projects to share with you just to show you how versatile this bundle can be. All right, so before we get started, I wanted to let you know about an offer that I have going on right now. If you place an order with me from my online store using this host code, so this is the monthly host code, between now and the end of the month, if your order is over $60 and you use that host code, I will send you the supplies to create all 5 of the cards that I'm making this week, okay? You'll also get an emailed PDF that will have photos, measurements, and links to all of the videos so that you guys can go back and reference them once your kit arrives. Okay, so that is a little perk that I'm offering with a purchase as a little thank you. And in addition to the 5 cards that you'll receive, you'll have a 6th idea because your thank you card will be used using this suite as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So this bundle is such a fun bundle, and you know what, I honestly, when I first saw it, I thought, you know what, do I need more butterflies? But this butterfly set is very different from the butterflies that we have in the annual catalog. So over the course of the week, I'm going to show you several different ways that you can use it. Hey Carol, hey Kim and Susan, welcome, welcome. So we're going to use it in a different way each time, and I'm going to combine it with several different celebration products as well. Good evening, Denise. So today I am combining it with the Flowers and Fields DSP, which is one of the celebration papers. So this you can get for free with a $60 order right now until the end of February. Good evening, Leanne. This is a very pretty patterned paper. So one side is kind of lots of different florals. I am missing one pattern because I've used both sheets of it. And then the back side is something a little bit more subdued. But what I love about it is look at how well the front and the back go together. They just go together so amazingly well. Good evening, Karen. So we're going to use that tonight, but we're also going to use the Heal Your Heart celebration stamp set. I love this greeting set. I love the font. I especially love the thank you and the wishing I could heal your heart. I love those greetings, and sorry for your loss. I mean, and we're in this together. I mean, seriously, can you get any more appropriate right now? Right? So I'm going to be using that one as well. Okay, because one of the things that you'll notice is in this stamp set, there are no greetings. So you do need a greeting set to combine it with. Okay, so let's set this aside. And I'm gonna pull out my pieces here. So I've got a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. And I'm just going to fold it in half, use my bone folder to make it nice and crisp. And then I've got a couple layers here. So I'm going to take this layer of Whisper White and I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine, and we're going to use do several different things with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Okay, so I've pulled out my full size because I am using a piece that's a little bit larger than what will fit in the mini. And I don't want my sides to get crumpled up. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is in this die set, there is this great, what do you call this? Label shape. And what I'm gonna do is, let me move this so that you guys can see it. So used to using the mini machine that takes up so little room, I have to move everything out of the way. Okay, I think you guys should be able to see this now. So I'm going to line this up kind of in the lower right corner and I'm going to make sure that there's an even space on the right and at the bottom, or relatively even. And you can see that I'm not feeding it in straight, like parallel, so this corner will go in first. Okay, so that's going to be the first cut that we do. Okay, and then I'm going to set these aside for now, and then I'm going to bring in, got a scrap piece of granny apple here. Okay, so I've got a scrap piece of granny apple, and I'm going to use this detailed die. So this is going to cut and emboss at the same time. So I'm going to use that one from granny apple, and then I've got a piece of basic black, and I'm going to use this outline image, and I'm going to run both of those through at the same time. Okay, so this you'll see, let's grab my, oh no, I don't need my paper piercing tool. See the beautiful texture that that adds? Love it. And then it layers perfectly on top of this guy so that you get this beautiful black border. Doesn't that, the green on the black, doesn't that look amazing? I love the way that turns out. Okay, so we're going to set this aside for now, but we're going to bring it back in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to bring back this, and I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to stamp my greeting on there, and I am going to use the "we're in this together." I know the black border just makes it pop. Look at that. So pretty. So I am going to stamp this "we're in this together" onto this label shape, and I'm going to stamp it closer to the top because you'll see what I do with it in a minute. Okay, now hopefully I have this. You know what, we're going to stamp this on a scrap piece just to make sure I've mounted it straight. Let's do it. Up here. Yeah, okay. All right. I like to do that just to make sure. I'm going to bring this down a little bit closer so I can get right over top. And it just kind of fits nicely on the label going this way. Obviously, if you went this way, it would fit and there'd be plenty of room, but I want to trim this down a little bit. So this is where I'm going to bring back my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I'm going to put that on there, bring back my label die, and then I'm going to trim it so it's a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm going to line it up so that it nestles nicely in there. That is pretty even here. Let's just move this over. And I can kind of feel like I'm trying to tug the die over, and I can feel that it's caught on the cardstock, so I know that it's lined up. And then I'll feed this through. I meant to put it in at an angle. That's why I went back and tried to adjust it, and I didn't. But that's okay. All right, so now that is scrap, but look at the shape that we end up with. So now we've used the one die, but we've gotten two different shapes out of it. So you could also do that going this way as well. If you had a longer, narrower greeting, you could do a longer, narrower greeting with those fun little corners on there. Okay, so there's a little trick on really making use of your dies. So maybe that'll make you look at your dies a little bit differently, because I'm sure that there's plenty of other dies that we have that you own where you could do that same trick. All right, so now I'm going to bring back my pieces, grab my adhesive, and I've got a piece of that beautiful DSP, and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive around the window, and then this is going to go on here. like that. And then that is going to go onto a piece of the Granny Apple Green cardstock. I love Granny Apple Green with black. I find that any of the bright colors, so any of the colors from the Bright collection, they just, when you combine them with black, they just look so amazing. Seriously love, oh, here's my bone folder. So I'm just gonna use my bone folder and curl up the wings on the butterfly, on both of them. And then we'll add some adhesive. This is pretty much gonna flatten it, but that's okay, we can curl it again. Put that in the center so that we have that nice even black border all the way around. If I put that on my white, you can see. And then we'll bring back our card base. This is going to get put on using some dimensionals. So how's everybody doing tonight? I'm happy that today is almost over. It was a very hectic day. We had a photographer come in and take pictures of our house. So it needed to be spotless. So I spent, apart from a couple coaching calls this morning, today, I spent the bulk of the day cleaning. So I'm glad that I don't need to. My house is spotless right now, which is great, but it's not gonna stay that way. Let's be real, there's 4 people living here and we're home most of the time. So yeah, it's not gonna stay that way. Okay, and then my greeting I'm going to pop up as well. So I'll just add a couple dimensionals to that. This is a really, really quick and easy card, but I just love how it turns out. This is going to get added on right here. And then I'm going to use a piece of a dimensional right here. And add my butterfly. And then we need an embellishment. We need some gems. So I'm going to the annual catalog and I'm pulling out still one of my favorites, the Flowers for Every Season gems. And we'll grab some multi-purpose glue. And we're gonna pick out 3 of the clear gems. The clear ones are my favorite. I absolutely love these. I wish that there was a solid package of just the clear. Okay, so we're gonna pop 3 of these on here. I'll just use a tiny drop of multi-purpose glue. There we go. And then we need to do the inside. That probably wasn't smart. I probably should have done the inside before I put those gems on. Because, I know, right, Denise? No ribbon. No ribbon today. I don't want those to slide around. Okay. All right. We'll hope for the best here. I'm going to bring back my scrap because I want to do a couple things on the inside. All right. Now, this image here, it's always hard to know exactly what a stamp set is going to look like until you actually see it in use or see it in person, unless you really, really look at the picture. So this, you might think that that's a whole bunch of individual stamps, but it's actually all one, which I thought when I first got it, I thought, how in the world am I going to use that? But I love me a good challenge, so I came up with a few different ideas on how to use it. Today's not going to be, it's not going to be anything brilliant. It's a pretty easy thing that I'm going to do today. But you'll see over the course of the week how I've used it in various ways. All right, so I'm going to use this bigger butterfly to decorate the inside and then also to decorate my envelope. But before I do that, I'm going to stamp my greeting on the inside. So it says on the outside, we're in this together. The inside greeting that goes with that is, I can't promise to always fix your problems, but I can promise you won't ever face them alone, which I love. Such a great greeting. or combination of greetings, the two together, especially right now. So I'm going to ink that up. I am going to stamp it on my scrap just to make sure that I've got it mounted straight. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Thank you, Karen. I was saying I love bold braids combined with black. Okay, so we're going to stamp that right here. And then I'm going to put this black away. And okay, because I just want to ink up just this larger butterfly, or maybe I want to use the smaller one. You know what, I'm going to use this half butterfly instead. But because I want to ink up just that butterfly, I'm going to give this a half. I've used this a lot. I want to make sure that there's no residue from any other inks that I've used on there, or residue from my chamois from cleaning it. So I'm going to give it a half and then stamp it on my scrap. Okay, it looks good. So there's no ghosting left. So I know that when I go to add it to my card, I'm not going to end up with like the shadows of another butterfly. Okay, so I'm going to take my black Stampin' Write marker, and I'm hoping that this one is okay because in amongst the chaos of the past week or so, I've misplaced my normal Stampin' Write marker, so I had to go digging for an extra one. It looks like it's good though. So you can see I'm using the marker on its side and not the tip. This will help prevent the tip from fraying too quickly when you color onto your stamps. If you use the tip, then you'll notice that it'll start to fray much faster. Okay, so we've got that colored in. Now I'm going to give, oh, you know what? I said I was going to use the half butterfly. Oh, see, that's what happens when you're talking and not paying attention. Okay, we're going to do the whole butterfly. I'll stamp it down in the corner. So I was going to do just the half butterfly right up here. Okay, carefully peel that up. We're going to come back to that in a minute. But while I have this out, I'm going to bring my envelope in and do the same thing. So just color it in. This is a two-step stamp, so there is an inside, so I can add some color. So you could color it in using Stampin' Blends if you wanted, or some other way. But I'm just going to use the solid image for the butterfly and add some color. All right, so we'll give that a huff. Stamp it onto our envelope. So for those of you who joined in late, no, you cannot, sorry, Sarah, you cannot use your Stampin' Blends on your stamps. These are Stampin' Write markers, so you want a water-based marker, not an alcohol-based marker when you color on your stamps. Okay, so now I've got my two images. Now back to what I was going to say is, for those of you who joined in late, I am offering a special from now until the end of the month that if you place a $60 order before shipping and tax, which qualifies you for a celebration item, I will send you the supplies to create all 5 cards that I'm showcasing using the Floating and Fluttering Floating and Fluttering bundle this week. So I'll send you the PDF as well with links to all of the videos, and then your thank you card will also be using this bundle as well. So you have 6 ideas using this bundle. And you could always replace these butterflies with butterflies that you already have. So if there's something else that you would prefer to order, you could definitely choose to order that instead. That's completely up to you. So we're just adding the color in here. I love photopolymer stamps because it makes this so easy. There we go. Look at that, just with that black. I don't know, this, and because it's got such a bold black dark image, wouldn't this be beautiful as a stained glass kind of look? Oh, it just gave me another idea for a card. It'd be so pretty. All right, there we go. Our card for today is done. So it was a quick and easy one, but I showed you how you can use, okay, first of all, I showed you a couple things. Okay, I showed you how you could use this label die to create a couple different shapes. So we did this rectangle as it's intended, but then we made it smaller. And then I also showed you how to do the two-step stamp and how you could use just the individual butterflies on this particular stamp rather than using the whole collection. So be sure to come back tomorrow at 8 p.m. right here where I'll share a different idea on how to use this stamp set, because it is such a beautiful one, and I think you guys are gonna love all of the cards. They're pretty nice, if I do say so myself. All right, so thanks so much for joining me. I will see you again tomorrow night, and I will post all of the information in the description above for you. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.